What's up, YouTube? Listen, y'all. I had a bit, really, I had a dream last night. Well, I went to another realm. I'll just say that. There was this big, I don't know if you know, like how the malls are. You know how you can go up the escalators and then there's the railing going all the way around and there's the one floor and then you go up and there's the second floor and you go up and there's the third floor. So this is kind of like what this building was. It was almost like a mall, but it wasn't escalators. It was steps that you go up and down. And it was the end of the world because there was like no normalcy at all. So I come in this building and the lady says, can I help you? What are you here for? And I said, well, I'm not sure. I said, I just was walking trying to find some form of life somewhere. And she said, well, you came to the right place. She said, you could join us and, grab whatever you need and we'll be leaving in like an hour. I was like, huh? I said, can you tell me what's going on? And she just kind of looked at me. And I'm like, ma'am, could you please tell me what's going on? I'm like, I just woke up that day and it was like nothing. It was like, boom, everything was gone. There was no cars on the road. There was no people out. The animals were like very scarce, okay? There was hardly anything out. So I went around and I grabbed, like, there's a whole bunch of tables that were set up like along the railing. And they had like ammunition, they had knives, they had, pretty much anything that you could think of to survive. And I said to the lady, there was like people that were stationed every so many tables. And I said to the lady, I said, well, what do we have something that we can like put these in or, like whatever. And she said, yeah, she said, there's a cart over there. She said, you could just take that. And she said, and there's a book bag and, different things that you need. She said, go over and talk to that guy that's over there. So I went over and I told him, what I needed and stuff like that. And so he gave me a big book bag, which could like has all these different compartments in it that you could hold like different size things. And he said, okay, you have to start here. He said, and just work your way around. He said, and upstairs, he said, there's another section that has like medical needs and things like that, that if you, need any of that stuff, it's up there. So I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, how am I going to carry like all of this stuff around? Because I only have this one book bag. And they have like groups, the guy said, that people are in. So like certain people will carry like this and certain people will carry that and, so on and so forth. So I'm like, okay, do I trust these people? Because I don't know who they are. I'm like, I just like kind of woke up and just ended up there. And, so I was talking to a couple people and they're like, no, they're, we have, been following behind them, all day and, they're trustworthy and everything. So I was like, okay. Like I said, how long has this been going on? And they're like, are you serious? And I'm like, yeah, because I woke up and it was like nobody and nothing. And I ended up just walking and I ended up here. And she said, this has been going on for a while. I'm like, okay, like what, and where am I at? Like what realm am I in? Because just yesterday I was doing my normal thing. So I proceeded to start and just walk around and the one table had the ammunition and stuff like that. And the guy said, well, what do you have? What kind of firearm do you have? Like, what do you need? And I'm like, well, I have like 4 or 5 different firearms. I said, and they're different calibers. So I said, I need 9, I need 380, I need the 40, and I forget what else I said I needed because it was a different gun that I had. It wasn't like one of the ones that I had. So I was telling him what I had, and he said, okay. He said, well, there's all the ammo's here. It's all in like order. So I had like all of the 9s were here, but they were like in these big, like, did you ever see the big gallon Ziploc bags? They were in like those. And there was piles of it. And I'm like, whoa. I'm like, if I could just take all this ammo and just and wake up from wherever I'm at, I would like literally, I would be set for life. That's how much ammo they had. And I was grabbing because I had more than one 9mm. So I was grabbing like 2 or 3 bags. He was like, oh, no, 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 no. I said, what? And he said, you can only grab 1 bag of 1 caliber. And I'm like, why? I'm like, there's literally like, what, 10 of us? And you have like 1,000,000 bags of ammo. And they said, well, this is our secure location, so we have to keep it stocked. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, where do you get it from? And he like just walked away from me. And I'm like, why are these people like not telling me anything? So I was like, all right, whatever. So I grabbed 1 of each of the calibers that I had, and then I walked down a little bit, and there was another table that had like knives and like other non-firearm hunting and safety stuff. So I got some of that stuff, and then I went upstairs, and they had like medical kits that you could carry, and they have it to where you could kind of like zip tie it to your bag, so that way you don't have to put too much stuff in the bag. And then they had them they look like little baby suitcases, but when you open it up, it had a whole bunch of stuff in it. I don't know how they got all of that stuff in a box that was only maybe like that big, okay, and it had everything you could think of. So I walked around to the other side, and I seen this little doorway, and when you go in, it was like shelves after shelves after shelves, and there was like all this liquor in it within. I'm like, who needs liquor? Like, this is the end of the world. Like, who needs that? Like, I get it, sterilization for, you know, like cuts and stuff like that, but I was just like, who needs this liquor? And the girl walked in, and she said, I know. She goes, it's kind of crazy, right? And I said, yeah. I said, when I walked in, I said, I didn't expect to see like a beer distributor, like, or a liquor store. And she was like, yeah. She said, well, you know, we have, you know, like things that we do, and like kind of like not bonfires, but like they have like gatherings and stuff like that every so often. But they have it in a secure location in the building, so that way they're not seen by, you know, whatever other people, if there is other people out there. So she was like, yeah. She's like, you can grab a couple bottles. She said, it doesn't matter. She said, we have cases and cases in the back. I'm like, okay. So I went and I grabbed a couple things, and then she said, okay, if you proceed down there, she said, there's another section down there. It's kind of like a clothing store, and it has like, you know, clothing and things that you need as far as, you know, like socks and, you know, whatever. So I went down there, and I got maybe like 4 outfits. And then she was like, okay. She goes, well, if you go upstairs, she said, to the right-hand side, when you go up the steps, she said, to the right-hand side, she said, there is our living quarters. And I'm like, y'all live here? And she was like, yeah. She goes, we don't go anywhere, she said, unless we have to. And I'm like, oh, okay. She said, well, go get your stuff settled, you know, and just keep what you need in your bag if you're, you know, if you're going to head out. She said, just keep what you need in your bag. She said, but we head out in an hour, she said, to do our rounds and whatever else it was. And I said, okay. I said, well, just one more thing. I said, do they have like medicines and things like that? I said, because that's like the only thing that I didn't see. And she said, yeah. She said, if you go back down, she said, where the medical stuff is, she said, go around like where the railing is. She said, you have to go all the way around to the other side. And she said, there's a separate room there that has like all of like the basic medicines and things like that. And she said, we do have medicines that are for people that have certain conditions and things like that. She said, so if you have that, she said, just let them know. She said, and they'll provide it for you. She said, but we can't give you a lot of it. She said, we just give it on an as need basis. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, they are like so like organized. I'm like, why can't people be like this in the real world? And so I went and I got all my stuff put away. When you walk into the living quarters, it's like a little mini apartment. And I don't know how they fit. Like, I mean, I know it's a big, huge building, but like they had like 30, 40 apartments in there. And it wasn't like something huge. It was just like a studio apartment. Like it had a little bed in it. I think it was like a full or something like that. It was a full bed though. It has a stove, had a microwave, had a coffee pot, had a refrigerator. You had your own washer and dryer in there. So I'm like, this little apartment had like everything that you need in it. So you basically didn't have to go anywhere to do anything. So I'm like, okay, I can kind of get used to this, you know. But they did say that, you know, you do have to work and kind of keep everything, you know, organized and stocked and stuff like that in order to be able to stay there. So I was like, okay, cool, like that's fine. I said, but do you happen to know when all this is going to be over with? And they're like, no. And I'm like, okay. And I ended up waking up. I was so mad because when I woke up, I tried to go back to sleep, and normally I'm good at that. I could go back to sleep and I could kind of, and it sounds silly, y'all, but like when I close my eyes, like if I like move my eyes like to the left or right, I feel like I'm searching through like what dream I want to go to, because whenever I do that, I see something different. So it's really, really weird. But I do have a good, I can't even call it a memory, because I have a good way of being able to fall asleep and then continue what I was doing. So, all right, y'all, I'm gonna get out of here. It's starting to get dark. That is my, let you guys call it a dream, but it's not what it was. It was my other reality other realm that I was in, not reality, but other realm that I was in. So, I don't know. Give this video a big thumbs up. Comment below. Let me know what you guys think. Was it crazy? Like, it was kind of like a good thing, because I was like happy. I was like, okay, like we have every single thing that we need. We don't have to go anywhere. I don't have to go to a store. I don't have to buy any of this stuff. Like, I just go out of my apartment and grab whatever I need, even though like it's limited. Like, you can't just go and get like 50 bars of soap or something like that, like you would here, like you would stock up. But you know, it's when you need it, you go get it. Like, you couldn't go get a bar of soap and then later on say, I need a bar of soap again. So like you know what I mean? Like, you have to space it. But it was kind of cool. All right, you guys, subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell for notifications. The Cash App will be in the link below as well. If you want to Cash App your girl, all proceeds are going to go back to the channel. If you want to super thank me, you could do that as well. It's at the bottom of this channel, the little heart with the money symbol. You could super thank me. All the donations, like I said, will go back to the channel, so I greatly appreciate it. Any amount is, like I said, any amount is appreciated. But yeah, so make sure you guys check out the video that I'm doing tomorrow. I can't give it away, but it's going to be kind of crazy. So make sure you guys go check that out, and I will see you guys in the next video.